Hi, how are you? I'm Chef Tom, and this is the Cardinal Cafe at Manual Career Technical Center. Today, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create some beautiful Cobb salads. We're going to do a vegetarian and a regular. The vegetarian Cobb salad is just in case you're not a meat eater, but in this case, on our carnivorous one, we're going to be using fat. And we went ahead and we cooled the under 41 degrees so that we know it's not in the danger zone. So I'm going to set this aside and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our dressing first. So today we're just going to make a real easy white wine vinaigrette. We're going to start with some real nice white wine vinegar. We're looking for about a half a cup, okay? Get our white wine vinegar in there. We're going to go ahead with our fresh herbs. We're going to use lemon juice from about a half a lemon. And we always squeeze this up into our hand so that while the lemon juice goes into your hand, the seeds stay on top of the lemon. We're going to put a little garlic in there. Then we're going to go ahead with our olive oil. And a good part of today's show is about kitchen gadgets, and we've got some pretty neat gadgets to show you. First one's just going to be a simple pepper grinder. Getting some fresh ground black pepper in there. And now that we have all of our ingredients in our dressing, we're going to go ahead with our immersion blender and just whip this up a little. And it is that simple to make a really great, really fresh white wine vinaigrette dressing. Now you notice we didn't chop our herbs or anything when we threw them in there. That's because our immersion blender chops everything up for us. It's a good looking dressing. So our next thing that we're going to use is our head of lettuce. We're just going to bust out that core. Then we're going to take, using our really sharp knife, we're just going to give this a quick chop. Now, if you see, you look at this head of lettuce has a lot of rust in it. Okay, that's something we can't see when we first start. Okay? So, instead of just cutting into it that way, we're going to have to go in and take off a few sections of leaf that are nice and clean, and then get rid of these few rusty leaves that are in here. There. And we'll just get rid of that rusty stuff, and we'll go ahead and we'll chop up the rest. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put this lettuce right in our salad spinner. Once we have our lettuce in there, we're going to get a little cool water in there. We bring the top back to our salad spinner, and then we're just going to give it a run around. Now, centrifugal force is forcing the water out of the lettuce. We're going to take off our cover, and it's a lot like the spin cycle in a wash machine at home. So we've got our lettuce, and you can see that water, all that water came out of the lettuce. We're going to grab a couple of plates here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our lettuce on plates to start our salads here. And the thing is, with a Cobb salad, well, you just need enough lettuce for a good base. Because the fact of the matter is that there's so many toppings on a Cobb salad that you really don't want to overload this plate. So, while we are starting our Cobb salad, I'm going to grab a towel and wipe up just a little here, because a clean workspace is important. Your space has to be clean to get the job done right. So, let's go ahead and clean off our knife. Now, for our next gadget, we're going to use a zester. We're going to make these cucumbers look like $1 million. Take your zester and just peel it down. And just keep on doing that all the way around the cucumber. And you're going to see when we get done that it has a really cool effect when you go to slice your cucumbers. Okay? I'm going to set that guy aside. We're going to cut off our top and our bottom. And now we're going to take and we're just going to work all of this peeling off of here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get rid of this. And then we're going to take our cucumber and we're just going to cut it lengthways. Okay? And then we're going to take and do a little bias cut. Okay, and we can take this cucumber and we can start this on either side of our salad for our beginning for both salads, okay? Because even though one is a vegetarian and one has meat, we're going to want to have some nice vegetables on the one with meat as well. We want to try and keep everything inside the rim of our plate. Now, on our vegetarian salad, we'll probably go with some nice corn next. And then we're going to want to jump in with some black beans. Black beans are a really great source of protein. Still trying to keep everything in that rim, keep nice straight lines. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut up some grape tomatoes. And you only need about 6 or 8 grape tomatoes on your salad. And then we're going to clean up an avocado and we're going to put some blue cheese on there. And then we'll get our dressing together and that will be the vegetarian salad. Just get these tomatoes here down on this edge like this. Very nice. We'll get our blue cheese on there. There we go. Now, a lot of vegetarians will eat shrimp on their Cobb salad. These are what's known as a pescatarian. And quite honestly, I don't like shrimp on my vegetarian salad. I find it to be a little shellfish. So, going forward, we're going to go ahead and get our containers for our dressing and our dressing itself. And we're just going to pour the dressing right in there. You have a beautiful, very fresh herb vinaigrette that we just made. We're just going to get that right onto the edge of the plate. And we'll switch out our plates. And we'll start working on our regular Cobb salad. We'll go ahead and get some tomatoes cut for it. Okay, we'll get these over on this side. And just a couple more little tomatoes. These are grape tomatoes. You can use cherry tomatoes, whole tomatoes diced. You can use just about anything you want. But the fact of the matter is that this is what I like. The Cobb salad originally came to being in 1937 from the Brown Derby in Hollywood, California. The owner of the Brown Derby, it said, had a particularly long day of work, and by the time he got done, everything was kind of put away. And so he went to the walk-in refrigerator and found what he could find, and actually once he ate it, he realized he really loved it and it needed to be on the menu. And they actually wound up calling it the Cobb salad after William Howard Cobb. There's our shrimp up on there, looking good. We're going to get some nice bacon. Give that a little chop, nice big pieces of bacon. And put that on right next to our shrimp. We're going to go ahead and open up an avocado. Now, when you are cutting an avocado, you need to be intensely careful. Avocados tend to be a little slippery, and that part right there where you take that pit out, that's the point where most people usually cut themselves. You have to be intensely careful when cutting an avocado. A lot of people will dice it right inside the skin. Myself, I prefer to peel the skin right off like this so that I'm not risking that knife going right through the skin and into my hand. Okay, we're going to take this avocado and we're just going to start laying it on right by our tomatoes. And then we've got some of this beautiful spatchcock chicken that we did earlier. We're just going to put this right up on here, right by these cucumbers and shrimp. And now our last thing is going to be some Danish blue cheese. This blue cheese is a little on the salty side and a little on the briny side. So with all the mild flavors in this salad, this blue cheese is really going to bring everything to life. You can use any kind of cheese you want in a Cobb salad. I really like the blue cheese. So our last thing is to go ahead and get our dressing. And we're going to put that on the side. And you can see how absolutely delicious that dressing looks. Nice herbs in it. So, you know, we get to this point and we think, what if there's not enough stuff on that salad and we want one more thing? How about some eggs? Now we can go ahead and we can chop our eggs, or we can do the easiest thing in the world. We can just grab our grater and a hard-boiled egg and run it through. Super fast. Your egg comes out extra fine. Wait till you see this. Look at that. And then you just take one of your spoons, take your egg, and just kind of go down around this edge with it. How about that? Try and keep everything inside the edge of the plate and keep your plate nice and clean. Is your vegetarian and your traditional Cobb salad. Come back and see us again.
Hello guys, my name is Coach Dwayne Lindsay, and today I will be teaching you guys the fitness circuit for all educational learning groups. Okay, what we will start with today is we will be coming from the Missouri Learning Standards. I can reach my goals doing fitness activities, So we have the 4 stages we will be starting with today, which will be squat. When you're working on your squats, you have to have your feet parallel and your body has to be aligned with your feet. We also will have the weights on top of our shoulder blades. Your feet have to be perpendicular with your hands and your arms. And when you squat down, you have to sit down in a parallel squat position, chest up, eyes up, and you will go back up. That's the first one we will be starting with today. So once we get started, you'll see how fast it goes. The next one we will be starting with is the military press. The military press starts with the same exact motion as a squat. You will start with your feet parallel to the ground. Your hands will be up above your shoulders, and you also will have the weights in your hand. When you do a military press, sometimes you might have to bend a little bit to get the weight over your shoulders just for an extra boost. So when you put your feet together, your hands and shoulders should be up. And when you lift up, you should be coming through your legs, all the way through your shoulder blades, through your arms, all the way to the sky. So you start right here, you're coming down, and you're going all the way up. That's the second one we will do for today. The third section is bicep curl. Let me grab the weight, I'm sorry. You will start with the bicep curl. You also will have your feet parallel to the ground, shoulder width apart. You will have the weight in the inside of your palms. And when you curl all the way up, all the way up, all the way down. Curl all the way up, all the way down. You're working the bicep muscle. The bicep muscle is located right here. If you don't feel the burn, you're not doing it right. So make sure you get it all the way in. Have your feet parallel, hands shoulder width apart, working on the bicep. That is the third step we were doing for today. And the last step for today will be a curl and military press. So you will be laying down. Hopefully you have a mat at home. If you don't have a mat, just get somewhere comfortable in the area. You will lay down, put the ball above your chest. When you lay down, keep your feet off the ground and going all the way up. All the way down, going all the way up. All the way down, all the way up. That's what we will start with for today. That will be the fitness circuit area for today. So I want you guys to relax and get ready to learn on today. We're gonna start with that and then go into. All right, guys, Now that you are ready to learn, like I said when we started, we will start off with the squats. So you have your feet parallel to the ground. You have the weights above your shoulders. These are dumbbells. And once you go down, it should be down, up. I'm gonna do a set of 10. So 2, 3. Should be breathing out your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll be our first set of 10. We're gonna do 2 sets of everything. The next one we will start with is military press. So I will grab the weights again. Your feet should be parallel. Your shoulder be shoulder width apart as well, parallel shoulder width apart. Have the weights above your arms. These are dumbbells. So it's a military press, so if you can't get the weight up with just your arms, you can use your legs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a good workout. I'm even getting a workout myself. So I know when you guys get started, you should be sweating, you should be having fun. Should be fun. Normally when we're in class, we have music going, just so you can get the energy going, and it'll be repetition. I had a whistle going, have different groups going with each other. You might be with your friends, you might be with a classmate, but you should be interacting with your peers in your class, just to make it fun. You might meet somebody new. So the next exercise we will start with is a bicep curl. You will grab the weights again for the bicep curl. Your feet should be shoulder width apart. And on the inside, and you're working the curls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do a set of 10, and we will go to the next section. The next section will be curl up to military press. So, like I said, you will start on the ground. Make sure you're in a comfortable spot on the ground, in your house, in your home, or if you can be at school. If they don't provide mats, you should be fine. You'll be in the gym. But you want to keep your feet up off the ground. Once you go down to the ground, explode up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like I said, we're gonna do another round of everything. So we will start with squats again. So you should get the energy going. Got another set. We'll start with squats. Got a round of 10. This is our last set of 10 on the squats. Make sure your legs are parallel to the ground. Should be shoulder width apart, your legs. Keep the weights over your shoulder. And when you squat, just squat down, your legs should be parallel to the ground. I'll do a side view so you can see my legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our last set of 10 on the squats. I'm gonna need these again, so there's no need for me to put them down. Now we're doing military press. Now we're gonna go quick now. Y'all know what to do. So military press, quick 10. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next step is bicep curl. Now we're going to bicep curl. You ready? Set of 10. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now to the last thing. To the last one. We're here again. Y'all know what this one is? Curl up to military press. Gonna curl up to military press. Know the exercise. So get down and get ready. We was in the gym. I say on the sound of the whistle, let's go. So you're gonna get down, feet off the ground, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the workout, guys. Put your hands together. You completed a workout today. So today we learned a few things. We learned the 4 steps of the fitness circuit, which was the squats. We started with the squats. Make sure that your legs are parallel to the ground. Should be shoulder width apart. When you're performing the squat, have the weight above your shoulders, and you should have fun with it. The next step was military press. Military press is basically the same as a squat. If you have problems getting a weight above your head, you can use your legs. Make sure your legs are parallel to the ground, shoulder width apart, and you should be doing the same steps. The second to last one was the bicep curls. Bicep curl, I know you should guys know about curling up biceps and triceps. Like I said, I got to work out myself, so I know this should be fun for you guys. But you do the same step, bicep curls, making sure you guys get the full benefit of the workout. Make sure you're curling good, getting the right form and technique, and make sure you're doing all the steps. And last but not least, the last one that I like to do, like doing abs workouts, curl up to military press. This is a major ab workout you can do on your own time, at home, or even in the gym as well. So make sure you have a mat if you're at home. Like I said, if you don't have a mat at home, get you a nice comfortable space to do it and perform the workout. Make sure your feet is off the ground. Make sure you feel the burn from your abs and also getting the ball above your head. Like I said, it's a workout. I'm tired myself, so I know you guys will have fun with it. Hope you guys really enjoyed the lesson for today. This concludes the lesson. Like I said, my name is Coach Lindsay. Hope you guys have fun this school year, and see you guys soon when everything is done with the pandemic. So, nice to see you guys.
Miss Coronado, and I am an art teacher at East High School. In our art classes, we like to talk about observation. Observation is when we look at something. But we're not just looking at something, we are observing and really investigating, seeing all of the little details on the object. So today when we're observing, make sure that you're looking at all of the little details in your objects. Which brings me to the materials. We're going to be creating an art project that you already have the materials for. You should be able to find all of these materials at your homes. First, what you're going to draw on. I would recommend just some blank paper. But if you don't have blank paper, you could even use lined paper. You could probably find an advertisement that you got in the junk mail that has an empty back on it. You could even rip off a piece of cardboard and use that as your drawing paper. Now, other than what you're going to draw on, you need something to draw with. So, you can use a pencil, but I would recommend for this project to use a marker. You could also use crayons or paint, watercolor paint. If you ask nicely, maybe your mother's lipstick or a ketchup bottle in the fridge. Anything that you can use to make a mark. The last thing that you will need today for materials is your object. Now, when you're thinking of an object, you want to think of something that has form. That means that it's three-dimensional with length, width, and height. So I could use my super cool East Bear mask, but it's pretty flat, so I'm not going to use that. I could use my really cool coffee mug. This has a lot of good form because you can see the different curvatures of the mug. And it has this cool little handle and a hole through it. I could use a stuffed animal. Now, the stuffed animal has some great texture to it. It's very fluffy, puffy. It would also be a very good object. But today, I'm going to use my favorite object, an object that all of my East family knows, and that is Hamish. Hamish is number one in my life. He is my rubber ducky, and he has a big old family living in the dungeon of East High School. So we're going to use Hamish as our object today. When you're using your object, you want to make sure you set it down and don't touch it again. If you move it even the littlest bit, you're going to get some different lighting. And we need to pay attention to how the lighting sits on our object. So set up your object, get your paper ready, get your utensil. We're going to be doing contours today. A contour is just a fancy word for outline. So when we're observing our objects today, we're just going to be drawing the contour. Now, again, our objects are three-dimensional. They have form. We want to make sure with our outlines and our contours that we are not just getting around our object, but looking into the object. Remember, we're observing, getting all of those little details. So when I'm looking at Hamish, I'm seeing outlines with the different colors, like on his beak, on his eyes. But also I'm seeing outlines on his shadows. He's kind of dirty too, so he's got some dirty marks outlined on his body. So I want to pay attention to every little detail of Hamish as I draw him. So get a clean sheet of paper. This lesson will be for elementary age students. That means kindergarten all the way up through 5th grade. We're going to have 2 levels of this drawing. That means level 1, that's for my beginners. Maybe the ones who think, I'm not good at drawing. My level 2 are for my lovers of drawing. So let's start with level 1. I am observing Hamish. I am going to draw his contours. And the challenge for you, my level 1s, is when you put your marker down, it's staying down. That means you're not going to pick it back up. It's going to stay right here the whole time. Now I'm going to start drawing Hamish using my eyes to observe. And I'm going to look to double check and make sure that I'm in the right place at the right time. Now again, I'm not picking up my marker. I'm just leaving it be. And if a mistake happens, that's okay. We're artists, and making mistakes is a great way to learn. It's a great way to better your practice. And sometimes mistakes look really cool. So I got my beak here, and now I'm stuck all the way on the right side. I don't have anything else. Am I going to lift my marker? No, of course not. I'm going to cut right through and start drawing the rest of what I see. And as I'm continuing to draw Hamish, I'm noticing his shadows. I'm noticing his marks. I'm noticing how dirty he is. I'm noticing that I made his head really funky, and that's okay. I'm noticing that he has a weird mark on the top of his head that I don't remember. I'm noticing that I think I did his beak weird, and that's okay too. And now I'm stuck in the middle of his eyeball. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna keep going, and I'm not gonna lift up my marker. And I'm gonna cut across, maybe get some more of these marks on his head. And I'm just gonna keep going. Look at how funky he's looking. Now, the more expressive your lines are, honestly, the cooler it's gonna look. So I'm kind of staying in a little tiny box right now. I need to get a little funky with it. So I'm gonna take my arm and I'm gonna let it move, starting with my elbow. Get some more of those marks on him, especially this giant wing down here. It's got lots of cool marks going. And my marker's actually running out, but that's okay. It's going to add a different dimension to Hamish. I'm going to fix his beak a little. And notice I still haven't picked up my marker at all. And once I think I'm finished, I'll take another look at Hamish and say, this is a pretty funny duck. And then I'll lift my marker and put the cap on, not even worry about it ever again. Now, if you want to amp it up, make it a little more fun, you can totally grab some colors and start coloring them in. I have a pink. I might make one of his eyeballs pink. I have an orange. I'll make the other one orange. And I might color in all of these different areas, different colors, to add another level of interesting marks to my drawing of Hamish. The one thing I want to make sure you do not do is don't erase. It's okay if you make mistakes. It's okay if it looks funny. That's the whole point of this. It's called an exercise. So don't worry about how it looks. Don't worry about erasing. Just have fun with it. Cute. All right, you guys can keep coloring in your object and your contour lines of your object as much as you want. I'm gonna go on to my level 2. So my level 2, remember this is for my art lovers. Get a clean sheet of paper. Mine has a little bit of ink on it. Get a marker. And we're gonna start the same way that my level 1 started. We're gonna start by putting our marker down. And you know what? Let's have a little fun. Let's move your object. You can move your object in between artworks, just never touch it while you're creating. So let's go with this side of Hamish. I'm gonna put my marker down, and just the same as level 1, I'm not gonna pick it back up. The difference between my level 1 and my level 2 is that I'm only gonna look at Hamish. I'm not going to look at my paper. It is invisible to me. I'm just observing Hamish, and I'm just gonna draw Hamish, and I'm gonna let my eyes be my marker. So pretending that there's an invisible line, invisible string, connecting my marker with Hamish's big ol' head, big ol' eyes, little eyelashes, and the other eye. Bet it's looking pretty funny. But like I said, that's the point. It's all about observation. So as I'm drawing Hamish, I can kind of see my drawing out of the corner of my eye, but I'm not gonna look at it, even though I'm so tempted to look at it. That's a big ol' shaded part right there, with lots of dirt all over it, because Hamish, you're just disgusting. All those details in the wings. All right. So as I'm working around Hamish, again, I'm not looking at my drawing. I'm focused on observation. I'm focused on all the little details of my little ducky. For you, whatever object you're looking at. And I'm using that as my guide. And when I'm done, I lift my marker up, never to be put down again, and now I can look at it. And I bet it looks really funny. Wow! Hamish! That's a good new look for you. So again, for my level 1s, you are doing contour drawing where you're looking at your object, you're putting your marker down or your writing utensil down, and you are just drawing your object using one continuous line, looking back and forth, observing. For my level 2s, that's called blind contour because you are blind to your artwork as you're creating it. You're just going to be observing your object with your marker or writing utensil down in one continuous line. And you can't look at it until you're done. That's the challenge. Now, just like in my first drawing, I can go into this one and use some colors, decorate them a little bit. So I might find this shape and make it pink. For my level 2s, I challenge you to not notice where the parts of your object are. For instance, the eyes or nose or different parts of a cup. I want you to notice the different segments of your lines that you make. That way you're not trying to draw your object as much as you're trying to create shapes within your object. Let's see, might get some of these wings. Some of this shape. And again, you can use whatever materials that you have at home for this project, which means no excuses. You can make art anywhere, anytime, with anything. And just like with my level 1s, for my level 2s, you can keep coloring in different parts of this for as long as you want. And with as many colors as you want. All right, elementary, that's it for your Fine Arts Friday this week. Have fun making some contour and blind contour artworks, and we'll see you next week with KCPS.
Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Cunningham. I'm the new band director at Paseo Academy, and welcome to our beautiful orchestra room here at Paseo Academy. And I would like to welcome you to our performance today. I have with me a group that I have learned a lot from. This is Grupo Aztlan, also known as Trio Aztlan, because this group here actually started out as a trio, and I have their leader here, Dr. Pacina. Come on up for me here. Now, this group actually started out as a trio. I know you see 6 people here, but could you please maybe tell us, what is a Mexican trio? There's probably some people out there that get us confused with maybe mariachi or some other salsa bands, and we hear that a lot when we come out. So what is the difference between a trio and other Latin groups?
Well, the trio came out, believe it or not, out of the Caribbean, specifically out of Cuba. And it's really romantic ballads, slow music, music that normally was played with 3 guitars and lots of harmonies and some solos with some specific instruments. Like this one, this is called a requinto. And usually you'd have 2 classical guitars with 3 gentlemen singing in harmonies, ballads, romantic music.
Cool. So it's cool to know the difference between actually trios and mariachi, because when we go out and play, some people say, hey, there's a mariachi band here. Yeah. But actually, we're quite a bit different from a mariachi.
We are, where a mariachi is more rural, and they have horns, they have violins typically, and then they have different instrumentation. It's more of a rural kind of music versus the trio music is more urban.
All right, and so we have the tune that we have coming up next is called Sabor a Mi, which is a very traditional Mexican trio tune, and it's something you will definitely hear us here if you come to Manny's and hear us play and we come around your table, you'll hear something like Sabor a Mi. This is a very traditional Mexican tune for you, so I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for being here with us.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor, nuestras almas se acercaron, de amigo así que tu amor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí. Si negaras mi presencia en tu vida, bastaría con empezar que por nuestra bienestar sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueño, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. Mi vida, soy tan pobre y otra cosa pasarán más de 1000 años y muchos más. Sabor a mí. Pasarán más de años y muchos más. Yo no sé si tengo que la boca lleva sabor a mí, sabor a mí.
So as you see, we have many instruments up here, and a lot of them represent the string family. So you see a lot of different string instruments up here, and my friend Luis here is a string player, and so he's here to tell you a little bit about the different strings that we have up here. Right now, what are you holding, Luis?
I'm holding just a regular classical guitar.
Okay.
That's what's used a lot in trios. It's also used in mariachis as well, and also with the requinto that Lucia mentioned earlier. It's around here somewhere, but it's smaller and it's tuned up a fourth.
Okay, looks like Lucio's bringing the requinto up here,
Exactly.
so I'm going to hold the requinto. So tell me how the requinto is different from the regular guitar.
So obviously it's smaller. It's up higher. So if you're playing E here, this is tuned to an A.
Oh, okay, that's different.
So everything is up a fourth basically.
Okay, great.
So you can use the same chords as you use on the guitar, and you could play it on here as well. So, but when you play a certain chord here, it's going to be different over here.
Okay, so that's great. It's very interesting. Some people that are holding an instrument that looks a lot like a guitar, it might not really be a guitar. It might be a different instrument. Okay, very good.
And that usually has the main lead, takes the lead, plays the head of the song.
Okay, great. Okay, now I noticed, Luis, you also brought a very shiny instrument with you
Yes,
today.
I
Can you
did.
go back and get that very shiny instrument?
absolutely.
Because I think the kids want to see that very shiny instrument that you brought with you, because it is not a string instrument, is it?
No, it's not a string instrument. It's actually a woodwind instrument.
Okay.
And I like to name all my instruments, and her name is Sophia.
Sophia, that is
Yes.
Sophia right there, ladies and gentlemen.
And if you don't know, you probably already know what this is, but this is a saxophone, and this is the smaller saxophone. It's the soprano sax. So this is what I use with our group. We do a variety of different stuff with with our group.
And so we've talked about this a lot with our music fundamentals class, the different types of voices that we have. We have bass, we have tenor, we have alto, and we have soprano. And if there's one instrument that really displays that, it's the saxophone, because soprano has a bass, an alto, and a tenor, and a soprano.
Exactly, yeah.
And so this is the highest of all the saxophones. It looks a lot like a clarinet,
Yeah.
but it has all the same properties of a saxophone.
And something that's interesting, you can play chords on any of these instruments, on that instrument. Same fingerings on here as you do on all the saxophones. You have the same fingering. They're called differently. You know, if you're playing a concert B flat on alto, it's 3 fingers, but on the soprano and tenor, it's going to be this middle finger, which is going to be C. So you have to do some transposition.
Well, cool. I know we have lots of great saxophone players here at Paseo Academy who are ready to hear you play it. So you know what? I'm about to get my instrument out in the back.
Here, I have a brass instrument, and I know we've been studying the families of instruments. I have my brass instrument, the trumpet here. So how about we play a cumbia? Let's take everybody to Colombia. And so the cumbia originated from Colombia, right? And so we're about to play a tune that's going to feature Joe on vocals and the bass. And this is a tune, if you were to take a trip to Colombia, you might hear this style called cumbia. This is Carmen.
Yeah, it's named Carmen. For all the Carmens out there.